So imagine this. A Chinese spy walks into a U.S. congressman's campaign office, raises money for him, puts her people inside the staff, takes photos with him at events for years and years and years, and nobody goes to prison. Nobody permanently loses their job. And the congressman, well, he later runs for governor of California. Now, I know this sounds like a movie, but it's not. That is the story tied to Eric Swalwell. And it's still happening right now.
Eric Swalwell has slept with many of his interns and makes them all sign NDAs so they don't speak up, right? The Democratic candidate currently leading in the California governor's race has a known history of being predatory towards women. And while it may be seen as politically expedient to sweep this under the rug, it is the wrong thing to do, and we know it.
Let's lay this out clean. A Chinese national, Christine Fang, also known as Fang Fang, ran an intelligence operation of sorts, targeting up-and-coming politicians in the Bay Area, and even sometimes across the country. She used fundraising, she used networking, she used personal charisma, and in some cases, romantic relationships to get close to power. One of her key targets? Eric, E-Money, Eric Swalwell. She helped raise money for his 2014 campaign. She helped place at least one intern inside his congressional office, and she interacted with him at multiple events over several years. Then around 2015, federal investigators got concerned enough to finally step in. They gave Swalwell what's called a defensive briefing, a warning of sorts. He cut off contact. She left the country. And officially, he was never charged with any wrongdoing. Okay, so now fast forward to 2020. The story breaks. Media storm, political pressure, calls to remove him from the Intelligence Committee. A 2-year investigation follows and it closes. But it closes with no formal finding of wrongdoing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Rodriguez, I apologize that you're here for a hearing on the border. They don't want to talk about a border. Mr. Swalwell is down there. Obviously, everybody knows he's made some comments. He's got a checkered past. He's alleged relationships.
A checkered past?
I would ask. It's my time. Alleged affairs, relationships with Yum Yum.
You don't get to say that. That's not
he had
true.
alleged relationships with Yum Yum.
I asked the gentleman's words to be taken down.
So now we're here in 2026. And now he's running for governor of California. And reports say the FBI may release more records. His legal team, they're trying to stop that from happening. So now we've got a candidate for one of the most powerful positions in the country telling the FBI, don't release what you know. Now we have to talk about something else. Hypocrisy. Because this part matters. You see, Swalwell was one of the loudest voices pushing the idea that Donald Trump had ties to Russian intelligence. Swalwell went on national TV ranting and raving about this and suggested Trump was working on behalf of Russia. At the same time, he already knew he had been in contact with a suspected Chinese intelligence operative. That's not a small thing. That's not a footnote. That's projection. And it points to something much, 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 much bigger. The political class operates under a different set of rules. You see, they can accuse, they can speculate, they can amplify narratives, even when similar risks exist inside their own circles.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened. And I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California.
Well, here we go. The dirt is out on Eric Swalwell, and we all knew this was coming. He had to have been really arrogant to think that he was going to get through this race without any of this coming up. And of course, the Dems have the knives out for him because he's sitting at the top, and they do need to pare down that field. The truth is, the Democrats were always going to pare down this field. The base is going to unite around one or two Democrats.
Now, here's the part you won't hear on mainstream media ever. This is not unusual. No. What's unusual is that it got discovered. And what's even more unusual is that it got reported. I mean, just think back. Look what happened to Dianne Feinstein. She had a Chinese spy on her staff. for about 20 years. 20 years. This person was not random. They were an office director. They were her driver. They were around her constantly. I mean, the FBI eventually warned her. She removed the individual, and that was it. Quiet. No major fallout. Nothing. Now think about that. What does a driver hear? What do they see? What do they have access to? That's not a coincidence. That's strategy. And it's still happening. Back in 2024, there was another case in California, an attempt to cultivate influence through a personal relationship with a local official. You see, this is long-term stuff. This is patient. This is calculated. So the question isn't, is this happening? The question is, how much of it are we never seeing? So what do we take from this, from a political standpoint? Well, first off, access is the product. So you don't need classified documents to influence a system. You just need to be in the room. Second, the system of quiet warnings, defense briefings. These things protect the system, but doesn't inform the public. That means things can be handled internally without accountability externally. Third off, foreign intelligence does not pick sides. They don't care about party. All they care about is access. They play both sides. Fourth, the media chooses what becomes a story. They choose what becomes a story, and they also choose what disappears. And that choice shapes what the public believes. So what do we do? Because this isn't just information. This is responsibility. What we can do is, number one, follow the money. Who is funding these campaigns? Where's the influence coming from? Because patterns matter. Patterns is really all that matters. Number two, look at who surrounds them. The staff, the interns, the advisors. That's the real infrastructure of power. Number three, watch for contradictions. When someone is the loudest about a problem, you have to ask yourself, why? What are they deflecting from? Number four, demand transparency. If information is being fought to be kept hidden, that tells you something. And number five, pay attention to local elections, because this doesn't start at the top. No, it starts small. City council, school boards. That's where the influence begins. So no, this isn't just a controversy. It's a signal about how power works, who gets protected, and what the public doesn't see. And once you understand that, you stop reacting to the story and start seeing the system behind it.